have been
Look
a
at all
much
this
better
floor
org.
space.
So
You
much,
can do aerobics in here.
so many activities.
Do step class.
It's making my head spin how many activities we can do.
With the number of announcements that happened with the Geo Studios slate of films and series, I thought I could share with you my thoughts on the big releases and we can have a back and forth regarding some of the projects that are lined up. Looking at the projects that Shahid Kapoor is going to feature in, including the AI robot romance with Kriti Sanon and the action film with Ali Abbas Zafar, I started to wonder about the longevity and relevance of Shahid Kapoor as an artist. I think one of the main reasons why I have rooted for the actor is not only because of his ability as an artist, but because even when he does put forth spectacular performances, he often gets the short end of the stick in terms of praise and accolades. The journey from Jab We Met to Kabir Singh has been erratic, with sporadic success and many duds along the way, but his biggest hits are also met with praise going elsewhere. This case of the underdog never getting his due but still being active in the mainstream is something that makes Shahid Kapoor unique and something that he acknowledges as well.
Having been a mainstream Hindi film leading man for 20 years, that's not something most people would imagine will happen.
Yeah.
You hope for it, you wish for it, you dream about it. So I'm very fortunate and thankful.
Mm-hmm.
I think people who are highly successful but jaded, I'd rather be unsuccessful but not jaded.
With the success of Farzi, I was thinking this is only going to open the gateway for Shahid Kapoor in terms of offers in the future, but I've come to acknowledge with the segregation of streaming and what goes to theatres, things are not as simple as before. Something that I will flesh out and would want to discuss with all of you. The question being, is spreading yourself too thin as an actor across mediums, both theatrical and digital, actually detrimental to your box office pull when your event films release? More on that later, but as I saw the teaser of Bloody Daddy, my first question was, why doesn't a movie like this go straight to theatres? A movie directed by Ali Abbas Zafar, done on a big scale, and Shahid finally after a career spanning 20 years doing a full-blown action film. I started to wonder whether the creators actually underestimate the way the Indian audience celebrate a well-made action film, like we saw the hysteria around John Wick 4 just a few weeks ago. Is the reason for the digital route reflective of the content or just because it is a remake of a French film that most of India has not seen? I think this is something that can be only understood when the film comes out. You know what really made me think that Shahid Kapoor in a full-blooded action film would be such a perfect fit? The last episode of Farzi and the long shot where he gets into hand-to-hand combat with the goons. There was a physicality and unhinged energy that he brought to the sequence that made me believe he would be so ideal as a cold-blooded lead in an action film. The teaser looks intense as hell and definitely borders on being R-rated with respect to the gore and bloodshed that will follow. The antagonists in the form of Sanjay Kapoor and Ronit Roy seem to be the drug kingpins that are willing to go to any length to stop this man. What I only wish regarding Bloody Daddy is that it offers set pieces that can give projects like Extraction a run for their money. I hope the sequences are not packed with uncomfortable jump cuts and apparent body doubles that take away from intense action films. Only the black suit getup seems to promise the parallels with John Wick, but I'm sure Ali Abbas Zafar really has packed a punch with the project and I can't wait till the trailer drops as well. The biggest announcements beyond the slate of films and web series that were in the pipeline was Stree 2 and Bhediya 2 being announced. This only extends the universe directed by Amar Kaushik, but this made me think about several outcomes. I think the original plan for the Stree sequel was to explore the origin story of the ghost, but I think taking the route of the prequel has been abandoned as the trio of friends with Pankaj Tripathi and Shraddha Kapoor are going to go on a new adventure after the events that took place in the first film. What many people forget about what made the first three so special was that the screenplay was actually written by the duo of Raj and DK, who were not a part of the creative process with Bhediya. I hope Stree 2 holds on to the creativity and inventive humor brought by the writing duo because it essentially was the reason for Stree's success. The writing duo and Dinesh Vejan had got into a creative tussle post the success of 3, presumably on the profit-sharing margins, and the relationship has been sour ever since.
3 was always designed as a 3-film thing. We're not like always thinking let's make sequel now and make more money off of it.
Right, but there was enough plot to...
Enough plot, and it's also this is like almost like the middle chunk of the story.
Right.
When we had a story, you have to have a backstory.
Correct.
You know where it's heading. It's just taught us that it's not just enough to be a filmmaker. You have to be prudent in all aspects.
What confuses me about Bhediya and its sequel, other than what most people are talking about, which is the underwhelming box office performance, is that the story ended with Jana with Bhediya being told by the Stree characters that help is required as there is a new hurdle that they are facing with Stree. I would have assumed that the ideal installment after where Bhediya was left would be a combined universe where Bhediya and Stree can clash with one another. But I guess the creative team has different plans by developing both the installments first and then creating a joint universe. The stories of Bhediya and Stree have limitless potential, and I hope the creators are not thinking of it as a sequel cash grab, but genuinely formulating a compelling and fun story that can be great additions to the franchise. The number of announcements made me wonder about the future of actors and mid-budget films in theatres. This was also brought to attention by Himesh Mankat from Pinkvilla, where he spoke about the perception of the film audience and how if one is exclusive only to theatrical releases, the audience gets conditioned to only see them on the big screen. Whereas the case where actors do feature in several mediums, the audience would rather wait to see the projects at the comfort of their home. Actors like Rajkumar Rao and Ayushmann Khurrana, who experienced massive commercial success before the pandemic with their releases, recently have been struggling to motivate audiences to see their films on the big screen. While those actors who are exclusive to the big screen, including stars like Shah Rukh Khan, Rani Mukherjee and Ranbir Kapoor to name a few, are reaping the benefits of the audience knowing that if they want to see their actor in a film, it has to be on the big screen. I think this also has adversely affected the career of Akshay Kumar, whose films range from OTT releases and theatrical ones just within the gap of a few weeks, and the saturation of such appearances across mediums dampens the motivation of the audience to get excited for the next project.
I'll always be the hater of it because it's going to take away people from my theater. You know, stuff like this is because you're giving them entertainment at home, so that just doesn't give them something to go out and watch a movie.
When you look at the case of Tom Cruise, a Christopher Nolan or James Cameron film, you know there is no alternative other than watching them in the theatre. And I think Bollywood should desperately seek for exclusivity if they are thinking about why the footfalls in theatres have been diminishing ever since the pandemic. With the other announcements that took place at the Jio event, I want to mention the stories that intrigued me the most. I am as interested and skeptical about the Shahid and Kriti Sanon project, as I literally have no idea which route they're going to take with this AI-infused romance. Union, a series with KK Menon and Ashutosh Rana, really looks interesting, especially a case of a compelling political drama being so rare in this day and age. Seeing the looks of Arshad Varsi in a project like Ghamasan also piqued my interest. Seeing the faces featuring in several projects including the likes of Harshvardhan Rane, Sunil Grover, Yami Gautam, Randeep Hooda and Sania Malhotra, I think a lot of raw talent is going to get opportunities with this new streaming platform. Other than Bloody Daddy and the showstopper Donkey, I think it will be also interesting to see actors like Jeetu Bhaiya and Vikrant Massey showing their psychotic sides with Bhagwat and Sector 36 respectively. A lot of content, a lot of talking topics, and an ever-changing and evolving market. You also drop your thoughts regarding all that we've spoken about on this episode. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.